Stage Garden Rumba is an open invitation to all New Yorkers to see the green spaces of the South Bronx, the casitas, los jardines, the nature that people don't even associate with the Bronx. We make sure to show and give it life with our music, poetry, dancing, and activism. And I love hosting, so we have a beautiful lineup. Stay tuned with us. Stage Garden Rumba continues. Poetry has always brought so much joy into my life. And I've been asked to bring my roster of poets, my top picks. And first, I had to bring Advocate of Wordz, a boogie down Bronx native on the poetry scene for almost 2 decades. He hosts the open mic for the New York Poets Cafe every Monday night. Just a tremendous friend and human being. Advocate of Wordz.
I turn acorns into bombs and play wingman at the barber. Make a motorbike out of bus seats and fly to lands that man don't bother. Slip down slides too narrow for a 6'1" body just for the smiles I barter. All in a day's work of me hoping to become a better father. I got a billion yeses in reserve for when my son asks, "Wanna play with me?" I might let him curse on the low, but he will say please and thank you graciously. Like his pops, he tends to talk a lot, and he'll force you to learn how to listen patiently. But don't be alarmed if you see us walking down the street shooting imaginary laser beams. Pa-choom, pa-choom, pa-choom. We like to do that. Every toy in the store that greets his eyes, I promise he's requesting. And I keep saying no until he starts asking the right type of questions. Because I can't always be there to be an immediate intervention. So even in between the Millennium Falcon and Death Star, I sneak in a lesson. I'll be damned if that next Lego set is built by I. Let him throw a tantrum and huff and puff and sit and cry. Let him hold his breath, even put his own finger in his eye. I purchase said item, I'll make him earn it, and after he throws his fit, he'll try. May he learn that people only truly support those who are doing for themselves, and we are all just one lost privilege away from living in a hell. So carry a big stick, but don't knock others' hearts off their shelves. Morals emit rings and karma hears all told bells. Now, I don't know how any of you see the role of a parent. The end-all be-all of raising a kid is not what I'm declaring. By no means am I some Superman who's ethereal seafaring. I just felt like the need for more sincere love poems was apparent. It has taken a child to make adult me feel self-conscious. Put me on the stage anywhere in the world and I promise you I'm thinking, psh, I got this. I can have slang sound proper, make malleable out of the obnoxious, but being charged to be the father of heaven's favorite comes with no manual I could stick in my back pocket. I show bravery when scared and hide a moon of fear behind the marble of courage. Indeed, mini-me has given me more than just a proverbial purpose. Yo, someone better tell Advocate of Wordz that someone's dissecting the validity of his verbiage. Every word, every connotation, every action is being broken down like PETA at a circus. So in closing, if my son wants to grow up and become a hippie who will cook and bake and griddle soy, or a New Eurekan poet, still unwilling to deal with his own complexes like a fickle Freud, the day he steps out from under my shadow will be one of bitter joy, because although he is destined to become a great man, he will always be my little boy.
And next up, we have Bamboola Project, a unique fusion of Afro-Boricua bomba rhythms with jazz. And this is the brainchild of Alex Apollo Ayala, bringing you the Afro-Boricua tradition, heritage, and culture. promised you activism, and this first activist has never fallen short. Shanequa M. Charles. She is a justice rights coordinator, she's an organizer, she's a mom. She's also the executive director of Miss Abby's Kids, and she works closely with her daughter, Miracle Robinson, who I've met and love, Shanequa M. Charles.
So what we've done with Miss Abby's Kids is we've built a slew of programming that teaches our young people that you are entrepreneurs, that you are the future, that you are the people that are gonna shape the existence for children, great-great-grandchildren that I haven't met yet. But if we stop planning for Friday night, y'all, whoo, we could have a whole lot going on in the future, can't we now? Yeah. I don't hear you, can't we now? Yes. My daughter is about to come up here, and she's gonna bless y'all with a poem of her creation. But before she comes up here, let me tell you a little bit about Miracle Robinson. Miracle Robinson, at the age of 6, looked around her community and said, "Mommy, why is this person sleeping in the street?" "Daughter, I don't know why they're sleeping in the street." She said, "Well, Mommy, isn't New York City the richest city in the country?" I said, "Well, that's what they say, baby." She said, "Mommy, so why don't they have a bed and a pillow?" I said, "That's at 6 years old." "Yes, brother." I said, "Well, that's a great question." She said, "Well, Mommy, don't they deserve to eat?" I said, "Yes, baby, they do." Now, you pointed out a problem to your mama. What are you gonna do about it? Well, let me tell you what Miracle Robinson did about it. Miracle Robinson started a company, her first, Style by Miracle, at the age of 6 years old. And her mission was to make sure she used the proceeds from her company to feed the unhoused people in our community. She said, because it don't make sense that I'm eating and they're not. She just said, it don't make sense I have a pillow and they don't. It don't make sense that I got love and where's theirs? So my love of a child, of a birthright from great-grandparents that we never met, got up in that uterus and said, I'm gonna give you this. And her name is Miracle Robinson. And she spent her entire last 5 years building for this community. In fact, remember I told y'all about Miss Abby's Kids? Well, she's the youth programs coordinator. Let's give it up for Miss Miracle Robinson.
Okay, so the first poem is called Today. It's kind of about today's standards, I guess, and how everybody wants things to be, but they're not supposed to be the way that they want them to be. Beauty standards, everything. Today, babies dying, but it's okay. Young black men talking about how they beat the case. This shouldn't have been the case in the first place, but it's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's society making you think that you go to jail at 11 and come back 33. And making you think that being crafty is an issue. But you'd rather be at a funeral for your homeboy wiping your eyes with a tissue. But why don't you look up, discover something new? The sky is blue. It's not just boys, it's also girls too. Thinking life is all about diamonds and pearls. Whoa, girl. Why don't you focus on school, girl, and stop being mean to the new girl? I'm not just a great rhymer, I'm also a designer. And yes, I have a timer for life. So when that timer's up, burn me up and put me in a cup. These girls think that they have to wear makeup. That was my poem today. And now I'm going to do my poem. It's called Mass Incarceration. It's on my aunt's album. Mass incarceration was known to be a black king's reputation. Hold on, I'm not patient to wait for my loved ones in jail. You want to arrest me because I'm not pale? No need to be rude just because you're cruel. Oh snap, want to treat me like crap, then stab me in my back? You're so lucky you didn't just get slapped. Oh, right. My Instagram is Style by Miracle. And I have a lot of others, but I forget the ads. So the main one is Style by Miracle.
And our second poet is not from the Bronx, but he definitely represents as an educator at Bloomfield College in New Jersey. His name is Paul Latorre, and I came upon his amazing work at the open mics at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. He also goes by the name Paul con Queso. I like to call him Paul con Fuego. Paul Latorre.
I believe in bad omens. like triskaidekaphobia, the fear of 13. Friday the 13th, 13 colonies, 13 ghosts hanging from southern trees, swaying in antebellum breeze. Who watches the watchmen when the watchmen lynch those they're supposed to protect? Shepherds murdering herds of sheep, all black like Halloween, black cats, black cauldron, black revolver, black clips, white robe under, black vest, black bodies hanging from limbs of black poplar trees, black blood on the leaves, black executions common amongst white America's checkered past, white collars checking chests with pieces hacked from black birches, decomposing gray matter wrapping roots. Got a body in the trunk, cause our bodies are the trunk of this tree of life. Cut us down in our primacy. Just how many rings did you bother to count before you hacked them up, whittled into artisanal benches for hipster bars where tips and jars go not to play the brown and black wait staff, washers, busboys, but of course their European owner who colonized the Caribbean cuisine he stole and marketed as upscale, deconstructed, one of a kind. They even gentrified our fries, cut wide and assaulted with the blandest shit, pirating Caribbean on their jungle cruise to pick and choose humans, garnishing a anesthetized palette of Epcot plates. 3-hour waits, $10 shakes, wristband scan just to sit and drink in ambiance of immigrants paid part of a livable wage, banging on bongo drums with straw Panama hats and guayaberas on welcome to the bing bang bong corporate enslavement of America, swapping pagan gods for Disneyfied deities, replacing slavery with prison wages and child labor with overseas child labor, draining rubber trees to make latex plants, prophylacticizing Adonis, Pan, and Ra. Gotta be a LeBron, Jay-Z, Bad Bunny, or Cardi B just to make it out this Amazon to shuck and jive and recite taglines in Spotify ads which spread our ass wide for the staff of the capitalist flag they have planted in sacred soil. Pipelining oil to suck from Mother Nature's tit, pruned and shriveled as a Capri Sun packet, drunk and tossed in a dump by the overfed cheeks of Columbus's offspring, outraged at his likeness being dragged and decapitated openly as he did Tainos, Africans, and other First Peoples globally. And our roots will grow and protrude through those who use them as mulch, twisting cuticles pushed through bodegas and Trader Joe's, small salons and supercuts, taquerias and Taco Bells, and all our limbs will rise and swell and drown this jungle of concrete with fertile dirt. You will learn when you cut us down, too will grow even stronger because we are trees and trees are independent lungs which pump and flood the world with oxygen, and paper cuts, paper works for those who don't wade through paper work just to say their body cam was off that night. You want to do good for the earth. Be a decent contributor. The tiniest bit compassionate. Turn in your badge. Don't turn backs on thousands of kids who've gone missing from detainment camps. Tens of hundreds of girls sold into sex trafficking. Countless black bodies mangled in the name of new slavery. So to honor them, we will drill into the white pulp of this infected tooth and pull out roots of canals rotting into black spotted fungus, black belt strangling breath from black diaphragm screaming for justice every day, every hour. Black bodies cursed by our 13th Amendment legislating prison as private plantation. See, slavery didn't die with Juneteenth. Cursed as laws of three, mark of the beast, the original sin of these 13 colonies, graffitiing White House with writing on wall of every monument carved into flesh, defacing each colonial icon built by black and brown hands at the whips of white grips, fastening black necks into a flag forever fashioned as a noose, because their bones were used to construct foundation, but their skin was never integrated into its coloring. A nation literally built upon a black, Latino, and indigenous burial ground such as ours is doomed to be cursed for far more than 4 centuries. You know, in Madagascar, farmers practice tavi, a method of agriculture used to create nutrient-rich soil from native plants and trees classified as no longer healthy. Westerners call it slash and burn, a far more aggressive term for destroying what was, incinerating bad crop to make way for new growth. And that's what we'll do. This awakening is America's collective act of tavi, raising plantations, statues, and hanging trees to compost, to grow an even more sturdy trunk, forming fertile soil, fortified from 400 years of ancestors' remains, fertilizing faith. Reparations made from the same land stolen to raise a whole generation of sharecroppers, yeomen, and farmers, only recognizing strange fruit from true American history lessons finally being taught in school, because bit by bit, we are decolonizing America, and this time, the settlers aren't settling.
And now, you gotta be ready for some dance. And this dance company is one of Stage Garden Rumba's absolute favorites, Mazarte Dance Company, based in the Boogie Down Bronx, bringing you the traditions of Mexico, folklórico, bellísimo, Mazarte.
De los chiles, la nogada y el rompope, la nogada y el rompope, en la ciudad de los chiles.
En la ciudad de los chiles, la nogada y el rompope, la nogada y el rompope, en la ciudad de los chiles.
Está la casa de Aquiles y la gente tiene un mote, religiosos y civiles, a todos llaman pipopes.
Pipope no es un halago, se los dicen por insulto, se los dicen por insulto. Pipope no es un halago.
Una aclaración les hago, mi amigo que es muy astuto, él lo ve como un halago, no le afecta en lo absoluto. Son tres palabritas sueltas, no causan daño ni pican, no causan daño ni pican. Son tres palabritas sueltas,
son tres palabritas sueltas, no causan daño ni pican, no causan daño ni pican. Son tres palabritas sueltas.
A él no lo mortificas, las dices y no lo afectas, porque para él significan pieza poblana perfecta.
And our second activist, Raymond Figueroa Jr., is an urban agriculture consultant, and he's also the director of the Youth Community Farm at Brook Park. He's going to talk to us about all of his amazing years and work here in the South Bronx. Raymond Figueroa Jr.
You know, my dad had a saying, you know, aquí me quedo. I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm going to build for my family and make a life for my family. Well, that philosophy really transformed and translated itself into an entire organization, from aquí me quedo to nos quedamos, right? And so what is it all about? It's place. You see, we need land because without land, we can't really define fully our place in society. And the land is also where we celebrate our culture. And culture is so important because it's how we identify who we are and what our contributions are to this world and to this society. Very important. We need more land, right? And so what I want to say is, wake up, my people. Despierta boricua, despierta indígena, despierta africano y africana. Despierta, because we got to get a control of this land. We got to draw a line, more than a line in the sand, right? And really stop gentrification. Because if we don't rise up, If we do not organize, we're going to be out of it. So one of the initiatives that I wanted to talk about is something called Community Land Trust. Community Land Trust. That means we're going for control of the land, controlled by the owned and controlled by the community, us, right? We're going to be the ones that are controlling what happens on the land. We're working on that as we speak. We're working to make sure that our community begins to have control of land. What we've done here, we're going after that old detox center that the city has abandoned for decades. And we're looking at transforming it, reclaiming it as a community arts, community health, community education, community job training. Quiet as it's kept. Every time they say, there's a new housing going up, and they're saying affordable housing, and we say affordable for who? They're always talking about building housing that's not affordable for us, and they're not talking about economic development where they generate jobs for us. So we got to generate our own jobs. That's what a community land trust is about. This is ours. This is our place. This is where we belong. And it just can't be, a cultural celebration. It's got to be an economic mobilization as well. But I just want to say it's a tremendous honor being amongst you in my community. And I'm going to say peace and blessings.
And next we have Jorge Vazquez, Bomba y Plena, a Bomba y Plena ensemble that's like family here at Stage Garden Rumba, because Jorge Vazquez has been on the scene since forever, and I absolutely love him. Jorge Vazquez and his Bomba y Plena crew with poetry and everything. Enjoy.
Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Desde que yo me fui pa' Loíza, me monté en Villa Palmera. Aquí te traigo este coco pa' ti, mi negra.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Oye, con sabor a guarapo, con sabor a caña. Oye, como dice mi plena, oye, como dice Morena.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Pero que oye mi plena morena, oye mi plena, que te traigo pa' ti, mi negra.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Al compadre mi plena, Joseito, al compadre mi plena. Mira cómo baila, mira cómo goza mi negra.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Oh, yo traigo un coco de Puerto Rico. Y yo lo traigo pa' que goces el mundo entero.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Oye, requinto, como dice mi negra. Oye, requinto, que dice de coco, epa.
Yo traigo un coco de Boricua en Bella. Y yo lo traigo para ti, mi dulce negra.
Tío Matero.
And our final poet of the day is someone that I met on Hunts Point when I was hosting open mics at the Boogie Down Grind Cafe, Hans Noir. His real name is Brandon Wright, and his conscious poetry has awakened so many people, I had to bring him into Stage Garden Rumba. Enjoy.
I want my neighborhood black. African black, Latin black, whoever black, I want my neighborhood black. I'm talking combs to naps, brushes to waves, beeswax to braids, I want my neighborhood black. Couldn't imagine being the dot on white paper, the stain on the apron, the dent in their Honda Civic, the nigga who f***ed up their ecosystem. At least if I see black, I feel safer. No neighborhood watch killing my kids shouting, we would save the neighborhood from what, some black children? So explain to me what happens if I go outside and I shoot 10 there, Dylan and Emily. It's locked me up, throw away the key. This is why I said I need my neighborhood black. I can maneuver black. No need to watch my black back. I can eat black, sleep black, live black, laugh black. I can black without Susan saying, oh my God, he's murdering his girlfriend. Like, damn, why you listening? Listening so hard, you must be down for the swirl. You need a ditch limit time to get a Tyrone in your world, but I'm gonna save that energy for a different poem. I need to see people that look like me, walk like me, talk like me, summer nights out with chairs and drinks like me, smoke blunts like me. I need to see bodegas and delis filled with poppies and akis, no Margarets and Adams saying, can you turn the music down, please? No suburbia, cul-de-sacs with low-cut grass. I need to see street lights, hear Mr. Softy music, see fire hydrants the usual. I need my neighborhood black to stay alive. No crossing enemy lines or ending up on the news at 5 as my family sits at home and stares in white and blue's eyes. They know that hatred is the reason why white blacked and blued my eyes right before he took my life. That's all right. I need my neighborhood black, melanin black, culture black, tan black, whoever black. I want my neighborhood black. Within black lines, watching black lines thrive. I want my neighborhood black. Period.
Cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir. Capo, capo.